I'm Mitch Evans with Path to the Playoff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all for less. The bottom came out of the top of the college football playoff rankings this past weekend as both number 1 and number 2 tasted defeat for the first time this season. Number 1 Alabama was no match for Auburn in the Iron Bowl, falling 26-14 in a game that didn't even seem that close. Bama now finds itself in danger of not making the playoff for the first time in its existence. Miami, on the other hand, still controls its own destiny after getting stunned at Pittsburgh 24-14. The Canes' drop in the polls doesn't preclude them from being back in the top 4 a week from now if they beat Clemson on Saturday night. As for the Tigers, they helped themselves by slugging South Carolina for a 4th straight time. 34-10 was the final, and it looks like the defending champs will now once again be looking down upon everyone else heading into championship weekend. Baker Mayfield minded his P's and Q's in leading Oklahoma to a 59-31 beatdown of West Virginia, so OU will move up too. Now all the Sooners need to do to punch their ticket into the playoff is to take out TCU for a second time this season. Wisconsin improved to 12-0 on the season by blanking Minnesota's 31-0. But even as the lone undefeated team that still matters, there's still no wiggle room. Lose to Ohio State on Saturday, and it's gloom and doom, but win, and there's no denying that the Badgers are in. Auburn's aforementioned takedown of Alabama has the Tigers in a great spot. Heck, they could be number 1, but there's still the tiny matter of that looming rematch against Georgia coming up in the SEC title game. Speaking of the Dogs, will it come into that SEC title game barking loudly after dismantling Georgia Tech 38-7? The question is, can UGA go 2 for 2 in Atlanta and exact revenge on Auburn for their defeat on the Plains 3 weeks ago? Rounding out the top 10, Notre Dame got rolled by Stanford 38-20. Ohio State prevailed over Michigan in the game 21-20, despite J.T. Barrett getting rolled over by a cameraman. And Penn State pummeled Maryland 66-3. That's it for now for the Path to the Playoff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all for less.